Hi everybody, welcome back to In Moments of Inyeon. In today's episode, we are going to explore the connection between dance, music and Inyeon, destiny purpose with a fantastic guest. The conversation will delve into the interconnected nature which lies in the combined power to shape personal identity, provide emotional resilience and change the course of our life through purposeful movement and rhythm. Together they act as a choreography of life where music provides the emotional rhythmic structure and dance represents the active willful expression that can guide a person through their ultimate potential. We will speak to a fantastic dance teacher, a Kizomba and Semba dance teacher, who is widely known for her teaching skills, her musicality, and her jinga. Together we will explore how dance, music, and destiny are often viewed as a spiritual, psychological, and physical alignment, where movement acts as a conduit for fulfilling our life purpose or Inyeon. What kind of connection do you think dance and Inyeon have, and music and Inyeon? What are the physical and mental benefits of dancing? Do you believe that dance and music are part of a predetermined destiny or not? We are going to talk about all this and much more in today's episode. So let's start. All right, you guys, welcome back. Before I introduce our guest, let me just remind you to subscribe, like our episodes, leave us a comment. It's really helpful and it keeps me motivated. Today's episode is brought to you by Kalpa Move. Elevate your practice with minimalist, neutral-toned Pilates accessories and great socks. Made for strength, flow, and everyday movement. Perfect for reformer, Pilates, bar, and home training. All right, so our guest today is none other than the Queen of Kizomba, Adda Dociu. Welcome to Moments of Inyeon. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm good.
Thank you.
A little nervous for this experience.
I've never seen you like this. It's nice to see a different side of you.
Thank you. But excited, definitely excited to dive into this conversation.
Thank you for finding the time to be here with us today.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Let me just introduce you a little bit. So Adda is widely known for her teaching skills, being able to teach as both follower and leader, for her musicality and her jinga or body movement. Adda was born in Romania, then moved to Italy, where she set her sights on dancing from very young age. She also started practicing in performance dance group from very young age. Adda attended Amici dance school in Italy, where she learned hip-hop, modern dance, ballet, line dancing, cheerleading, musical theatre, street dance, and rock and roll. After moving to UK, she stepped into the world of Kizomba, developing her passion for the Palop community. Adda learned from and collaborated with many teachers, traveling the world to teach workshops and perform many choreography. Today, she runs her own dance school, Affinity Dance Academy, and she has also written a book, which she will hopefully tell us all about it. So, Adda, in the largest structure of our existence, together dance and music act as a choreography of life, where every step in life can be seen as a metaphor for dance movement. By embracing and engaging this flow with determination and passion, do you believe that we can actively create our own purpose in life? And also, do you believe that dance and music are looped into the destiny thread?
Okay, very interesting question. Yes, I definitely do believe that they are intertwined. Perhaps not the way that I see it, honestly, is more that we choose our purpose before we descend on this earth. And by the way that we choose to live it, we get connected and intertwined with our purpose and we live by it or not. Dance and music, I think they're two very powerful ways of touching into that purpose. but I definitely don't think it's the only way. We cannot exclude those who don't dance or don't listen to music, although it is a very powerful and more straightforward way of tapping into that energy.
So believing that we choose our life before, so you mean our soul choose our life?
Yeah.
So that's a predetermined destiny. That's Inyeon.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you for clarifying. I believe that both dance and music, obviously this is based on my little experience about dancing. Everything that I said in this episode, it will be based on my experience regarding dancing. I believe that both are deeply intertwined in the many twists and turns and winds and loops of the Inyeon red threads. In yoga, we say that movement, and so dance is an expression of it as much as yoga, and sound, so music, are often viewed as a rhythmic pulse of the universe. So movement is the sound of life. And I believe that we are looped into each other's Inyeon red threads, thanks to Kizomba, you be my Kizomba teacher. And I think that was the starting point. So our souls met again through Kizomba, but that created many ripple effects because movement often symbolizes the proactive shaping of our own path rather than acceptance of fate. I think is more or less what you just said.
Yes, basically.
And yoga says that actually movement is deeply connected to destiny as a physical reminder of the self. Do you believe that the movement destiny connection can help us to face the many inevitable life events with courage and grace? Because you're all about grace. I know you express your courage and you express your grace through movement, through dance. Do you see that connection between movement and destiny?
Do I see connection between movement?
To face the many inevitable life events.
It's definitely a metaphor. Like, I think it's one way of getting and tapping into that powerful energy. It's how can I put it? It's a bit the subconscious way of actually expressing those predestined ideas and experiences that we are meant to live.
Do you experience any of this in this walking life in terms of, did you see any predestines? Did you recognize any of those moments that you brought with you? Because I know that you're very spiritual, you do a lot of spiritual work. So, your pathway movement is also path with your spirituality, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are right. I think that let's say the greatest lesson was in fact me learning to both lead and follow, which taught me a lot about polarity and the dynamics between the masculine and the feminine. It was because I was raised kind of on my own a little bit. My mother wasn't close. My dad wasn't close either. I have had to learn a lot of these things by myself, and dance was the main source of my knowledge and my learnings when it came to the exchange between the energy of the masculine and the energy of the feminine.
So you use this as a tool to face the many life
100%.
events. Thank you. I believe that dance is an expression of yoga. Mm-hmm. With both disciplines rooting in a mindful movement, breath control, and a deep body awareness, serving as a moving meditation that can unite the body, mind, and spirit. Do you believe there is a connection between dance and yoga?
I think there are two branches of the same tree, if you know what I mean. The way that I look at the way that I see yoga is the stillness, the masculine, if you will, the control behind it all, and dance, I see it as the expression of it, as the feminine, the creativity, and the surrender.
How very interesting that you see yoga as the masculine and dance as the feminine. Very nice. I really like that. It's very unique. So I believe that the connection is based on the fact that yoga provides the foundation for strength, flexibility and flow that enhances dance. And at the same time, dance expresses the inner stillness, like you just said, and the alignment that is found in yoga. But I also believe that both disciplines foster a holistic approach thanks to a conscious movement.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Yes. And that's why, for me, I see everything in polarity. So everything has got a masculine and a feminine. And it's only when you balance these two that you actually get to that holistic view and holistic experience. Individually, I believe we all have our feminine and masculine. If we are talking about partnership, partner dance, then obviously one of them is going to dominate in one polarity, but at core, first you have to balance your inner feminine and masculine in order to be able to be dominant in the one category that you actually have to take over with or give more of.
Yeah. Yeah. Each dancer has a unique vocabulary of movement, which can be seen as a metaphor for their personal blueprint, a unique expression of the self, with dance being a path that uncovers, shows a person's true passion, with many dancers feeling that dance chose them rather than the other way around. I'm just curious to see, how was it for you? Dance chose you, or you chose dance, chose each other?
It's a very hard question to answer for me because I started dancing when I was very young, when I was 3 years old. So most of these moments, I don't even remember how they happened. I just know from what my mom told me. But it would be hard for me to pinpoint how things happen or why they happen this way. I do think that somehow it chose me. But then again, because I do know that my soul has chosen already the experience here, I just think that was in this lifetime, in this life experience, I think I chose to know myself through dance.
Similar to overcoming life obstacles, learning to dance can require focus, endurance, and the ability to embrace discomfort, which I believe it can prepare us for our life journey. How can dance be used to create a balance between surrender and control?
First of all, I think it starts with trust in oneself, which goes back into that balance between the masculine and the feminine inside. I definitely believe that starts with trust in oneself. Yes, trusting in your own abilities, trusting in your own destiny, in your own choices, and trusting that you have the ability, you actually possess already everything that it takes in order to go through anything that life or the dance floor poses in front of you or throws at you.
To me, dance is just like yoga, a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dialogue between holding structure and control and allowing movement to flow without inhibition, so to surrender. And I believe that this balance is created by engaging the body in structured training. Like, for instance, in yoga would be core strength and alignment. In dance, and just giving examples, maybe footwork and posture.
Technique.
And I believe that this can offer a release mechanism for both emotions and energy that can help both yogis and dancers to let go of external pressure. Would you agree?
Yes, 100%.
Surrender in dance is the letting go force we teach in yoga, focusing on freedom, presence, and emotional expression. How can we learn to let go in dance, allowing the body to move freely in response to music, but at the same time fostering creativity, allowing healing and emotional release?
It goes back into what I mentioned earlier, which is number one, trust in yourself. once you start trusting yourself, then you can let go of fears. You can let go of fear of being misunderstood, of fear of it not looking so good. And the more you experience this, the easier it becomes to be your authentic self, basically.
Based on my experience, you know how much I freak out every time I know there is a camera recording us dancing. I try to train myself in dance to shift from a mindset of performance and judgment. I know that from myself. It doesn't mean that it comes from others. To one of intuition, awareness, and emotional expression. And I try, doesn't mean that I succeed all the time, to see dance as a movie meditation rather than a performance, a routine. Also, knowledge does help me. For instance, learning more technical skills, like for instance, footwork, allows me to find freedom. That freedom will lead me to letting go. And the more I let go, the more I can find peace of mind.
Yeah.
Do you see that often in your students?
Very often.
Yeah.
And obviously different people have different ways of embracing this journey. Some take different ways, some take different amount of times in order to get there. But it's a fascinating thing to see and experience, to be honest. And as a teacher, you know, you're the teacher, you're teaching, but you learn so much from these things.
I agree. I think it's the same in yoga. Once you have to deal with human beings, emotions, and movement, I think it brings out a lot of energy. In yoga, we practice the shake method, just like our furry friends. By shaking our legs, arms, and shoulders, we let go, surrender to the present moment, and at the same time, we recharge ourselves, just like our dog's friends. The moment that they shake, they let go of energy that doesn't serve them anymore. Is this seen, because I know it's been practiced in dance for years, but is seen in the same way, a way to release and let go and recharge?
It is and it isn't at the same time. It is because basically the way that we use it mostly is to relax the muscles. So it's more on a physical level. Once you have overworked your muscles, then you shake, you relax. So you let go of that overflowing of energy and you come back to your normal self, but to a different level, because once you've put your muscles to a certain level of work, then they strengthen, they improve in different aspects.
So we come into the Kizomba. You are the queen of Kizomba. Could you tell us a little bit about it and maybe a little bit about its culture?
Sure. Kizomba is obviously it's a partner dance. It's an African dance, Angolan. Not only Angolan, but it started from there. The word itself, Kizomba, is in Kimbundu, which is an Angolan dialect. It's a family dance. This is where people misinterpret it. Sometimes they see certain sensual movements and they're like, "Oh, that's too close." Well, all these movements, there are ways to have all these movements being done and being interpreted with the closest family members that you have, or same or opposite sex as well. So it's a social dance. It's a dance that's meant for connection. That's meant for entanglement. The way that I like to see it, entanglement and compassion and understanding.
And what is Semba? Just so that our audience can understand the difference between, and maybe also Tarashinya.
Oh, also Semba. So Kizomba is a bit of an umbrella, isn't it? It includes different genres of music and different styles of dance. Semba is a father of Kizomba. So before Kizomba even existed, there was Semba as a traditional dance in Angola. This is why Angolans have so much on Kizomba, because it's got the roots from a traditional Angolan dance. It was initially not even danced as a partner. There was Carnival, Semba Carnival, which was an individual dance. But then with colonization and influences, things moved around and they started to create couple dancing. It started with Rebita, which wasn't just a couple dance. It was a rueda, a roda dance, and it still is. It just wasn't. It still is. And then slowly, then they developed more into that connection between two energies. When it got to Kizomba, and Tarashinya is the interpretation, is the more intimate interpretation of the Kizomba, to say it like that. Is the dance that you don't dance with just everyone. You dance it with someone who's a lot closer to you, maybe your life partner, or someone that, you know, you'd have intentions beyond the dance floor rather than just keeping it to a simple dance. Nowadays, all of these things have been commercialized, so obviously we have had to create structures and rules and boundaries in order to make sure that everything is done properly, safely, and with respect. But at their cores, this is what these dances are.
And when you moved to London, you stepped into the world of Kizomba, developing your passion for the Palop community. How did it happen? I mean, coming from, you know, hip hop and street dance and rock and roll, how did you move into a partner dance?
It happened by mistake, to be honest.
Is it really a mistake?
Not really. It was a mistake, a wanted mistake. Don't get me wrong. Before I came in, I came to London and go into Kizomba. I did practice salsa, so I did do other couple dances, to say like that, mambo and other styles. I actually even tried Kizomba before coming to London, but
in
Romania, yes, in Romania. But because of the circumstances at the time, I just didn't feel like I knew. I was teaching at a school, and I was asked to teach something that I didn't really know at its course. So I tried, but it just felt like it wasn't my expertise. It wasn't something that I knew exactly what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. So I decided not to get into it. Then when I moved to London, I go back to salsa after a period of not dancing. And somebody at this salsa class mentioned Kizomba, and I'm like, sounds familiar, but it still didn't click to me. I went to a class, and again, I said Kizomba wasn't for me. It just seemed too close. It seemed too forced, too intimate, you know. Also, that was, you know, my image based on what I would have seen online, what was presented to me by the person who asked me to teach it at the school in Romania. So there was a lot of external influence and a lot of lack of knowledge there. But then, you know, just like you say, the thread of life, it makes you go certain ways. One day, a few months later, my best friend came to visit me from Italy. And although she's not a dancer, trust me, she doesn't dance at all. She doesn't even move unless you force her. She was like, I just feel like going dancing tonight. And it was on a Thursday, I remember that. And I'm like, where do you want me to take you dance on a Thursday? Like, I didn't know anything open, so I just went on Facebook, searched for dancing. And there was this Kizomba Semba class was called The Church at the time. I'm like, this is the only thing I can find. Let's just go check it out. So when I got to this place, Eddie Vance was teaching there. So I arrived during the class. He was teaching. I was watching the class. Seemed a little different than what I was introduced to before. And then obviously the social started. During the social, Eddie came and asked me to dance. And obviously when I started dancing with Eddie, I was dancing in the way that I knew to dance. So my movements were very sensual, very exaggerated. Just the image that I had of Kizomba at the time. I swear, to 20 seconds in the dance, Eddie does this. Can you stop doing all of this? And I'm like, you know, based on my perception at the time, like I was just like, okay, it seems like there is more to Kizomba than I think there is, you know, and that's what hooked me, to be honest. Just that thought, that discovery that there is a lot more to it than what the visual eye allows you to understand.
It's always the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
I read an article a while back that said that many dancers in partner dance viewed finding a perfectly synchronized partner as a destined event, so as an Inyeon event, describing it as a feeling of two souls moving together. And this connection was viewed as a microcosm of relationship, where the ability to listen, follow, and lead reflected a deeper, sometimes fated connection between two people. How do you feel about that?
I've always been a little philosophical, so I always thought that whoever comes in your life, whether they are to stay or to just pass by or to not even interact, but like the idea of brushing, right?
Have you done your homework?
Yes. I always believe that they're meant to be there. They have a reason why they're showing up in your life, and there is something that you must learn from that experience. So yeah, it's not far-fetched from my belief system.
So from the story you shared with us to becoming the queen of Kizomba, you are widely known for your teaching skills, being able to teach as both leader and follower, and that's true. That's very, very true. I got my proofs. Based again on my little experience, I think that partner dance requires a delicate balance between follow and leading, where a conversation is created between the energy of two people. How can we learn to trust that connection on the dance floor, that feeling that we have, that sometimes we cannot give, an explanation to or put our words into it, but how can we learn to trust the feelings?
I think that goes back into trusting oneself. The first thing that you have to do is to foster your own abilities and your own mental strength, emotional strength, and physical strength in dance to know that you will be able to deal with whatever comes your way. But then there is also the misconceptions, and I'm guilty of them as well at times, because up until very recently, actually quite a few years ago, I used to teach the masculine to be masculine and the feminine to be feminine, with the idea that the masculine leads, the follower just surrenders, and that's it. And again, dance and life taught me that it's not quite so black and white, that the best leaders are actually the leaders who know when and how to follow, and that the best followers are the ones who know when and how to lead. So it's, again, a mesmerizing dance between energies.
And you teach all this in your classes with your school?
Yes. Obviously, depending on what type of class it is. I don't go into details like this into a normal workshop at a festival. It would be a bit too much to dive into. But when it comes to workshops that I create specifically for knowledge, for tapping into a different level of consciousness when it comes to dance and movement, yes, I do talk about it.
In yoga, we say that when we feel intimidated by a yoga pose on the mat, the emotions that arise may actually act as mirrors of something intimidating us off the mat in our daily life. Do you think it means the same in dance? Is that a reflection of our daily life?
Forgive me, you're going to have to repeat that.
When we feel intimidated.
Yeah. Do I think that?
Do you think that means the same in dance? Is that a reflection of our daily life?
Oh yes, it's a projection. Everything is a projection. So even what things like jealousy and admiration, judgment, admiration, all of the feelings that you have towards somebody else, in general, they are a reflection of your inner state of being. And
it's a good way to learn about ourselves too, isn't it? It's not that, like you just said, it's not just black and white. I'm going out, I want to dance, but so many emotions arise when you are on the dance floor. On a good evening, on a bad evening, on a day that you dance a lot, on a night that you don't dance much.
You can get very overwhelmed by the experiences, but I do think that that's the fascinating side of it.
Yeah. What is so magical about Kizomba?
Definitely the connection aspect of it, that ability to be compassionate and to trust yourself and get to a point where you trust someone that you don't even know, you haven't even met before. You're literally just meeting for the first time, and you're sharing a moment with them. You're sharing an exchange of energies, and by that you create a beautiful experience.
I totally agree with you. The connection, the trust, and I think that that the magic comes from moments where trust and nonverbal communication take over. Regarding this, do you believe that partner dance can be viewed, I know it's a funny question, but can be viewed as a way to dance with destiny by actively working on our ability to listen, to trust, to connect and communicate with another human being?
I never thought of it that way, but yes, I definitely think it's one way of it.
So next time I see you either teaching or dancing, I will say, this is a way to dance with destiny. I will whisper in your ears.
I'll be like, yes, it is.
If you remember. Right, so before we move on to the next question, we are going to take a short break for our sponsor. A beautiful idea that movement should bring positive feelings to the mind and home as much as to the body. So if you are ready to upgrade your foundation, Kalpa Move offers minimalist pieces in their collection, such as the stunning curved yoga mat. It is designed with a natural curved shape to offer a sense of fluidity and stability that provides the stable support we seek as practitioners. They also offer a whole boutique of accessories, from weighted rings and balls to their signature Pilates princess socks. Everything is crafted in a soulful neutral palette of chocolate tones. Harper Bazaar recently featured them, describing the collection as stylish enough to live around the house, and they are right, as these pieces look like decor but perform just as well as professional attire. You can learn more by visiting kalpamove.com, and if you are ready to bring that vibrant strength into your sanctuary, you can use my promo code IMOI for 10% discount at checkout on your first order. IMOI for 10% off at kalpamove.com. You can also find the link in our episode description below. Let's bring awareness into mindful movement. All right, you guys, welcome back. Adda, partner dance can activate many chakras, multiple chakras. Also, depending on the frame, the way I see it on the frame, the style, the intention. From the root chakra for grounding, stability, and connection, all the way to the heart chakra and beyond, to enable each other's trust, vulnerability, but also to help us to connect emotionally and not just physically. How do you feel about the connection and activation of the chakras while dancing? Dancing solo, dancing with a partner? They activated even when we dance solo because it's energy, isn't it?
100%. And the way that you dance can tell a lot about your chakra system and which one is activated, which one is not, which one is too much in control or too activated.
Even when you dance solo?
Even when you dance solo, 100%. Obviously, when it comes to the root chakra, you mentioned the groundness. That's the most important thing, especially when it comes to Kizomba, being grounded, but not just Kizomba, any dance. So it's about safety, security. You know, you would, if you see someone clenching onto the floor, then you know they don't feel secure, and you balance this chakra. You know that you've balanced this chakra once you start moving flawlessly on the dance floor without fear again. Because you know that you're safe, you know that you're grounded, you know that the floor or the stage or whatever it is has got you.
You know, so I'm sure that you're gonna tell me off. Because I know that when we dance, all the chakras are activated.
Yeah.
But Every time I done Kizomba classes, I don't know why, it's my perceptions. It's not something based on reality, just my perception. But I always felt that I was activating more. So there is a chakra that's actually below our feet, which is not connected with the root chakra, and the color is black. I always thought, because Kizomba, you have to use a lot the connection with the feet. I always thought that the main chakras we were using while dancing Kizomba were the one below the feet, the root chakra, and the heart chakra. I don't know why, because I always thought, the energy obviously flows even in parts that don't touch the ground or they don't touch another body. But I felt always that there were the three main.
I think essentially all of them are very active when it comes to the sacral chakra, creativity.
Yeah.
Is that?
Sorry, I meant the root chakra, but also the sacral chakra. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you meant that, but I'm talking about all of them.
Yeah.
Like I think they each bring something to the table, if you know what I mean, and they express themselves differently in your body when you move, either if you dance by yourself or with a partner. The solar chakra is very important when it comes to dancing and partner, because it's the frame, it's the posture, it's how you set your boundaries, is how confident you are in yourself.
It came up during our last episode. Manipura chakra is also fire, it's Agni. Is what gives us the energy even just to show up today, or for you to go and teach after. So it's the energy that we use every day to do anything. So first we create the energy. Everything that we do, even the words are coming out from my mouth, they are created with our second chakra, and then the activation is through the fire or the third chakra. So, yeah. The chest connection we experience while dancing Kizomba, obviously for me, is the activation of the heart chakra. But I also see it as a non-verbal communication tool where we can express our own self-awareness and connecting in a multidimensional way, fostering a silent conversation where two people can communicate through, again, frame, tension. Remember, you mentioned it a lot, and nonverbal clues, rather than just words. Because obviously, when you dance, at least me, I never like to talk a lot. I like to connect with the movement, the dance, the enjoyment. Do you believe, and I know probably it's a rhetorical question, but do you believe that dance can elevate our frequency by engaging and embracing the body, mind, and spirit?
Of course. Is I don't know if I can go back into what you mentioned earlier. When it comes to the heart chakra, yes, I think it's very important. And it is about connection, but more than anything, the heart chakra is about letting go of ego. Because in that chest connection that you have with your partner, you actually do feel everything. You feel their heartbeat, you feel their breath, you feel their insecurities, their hesitations. And activating your heart chakra is about letting go of your ego into understanding that you cannot be right if your partner is wrong. So that's where I wanted to make a little parenthesis.
Is it also about letting go the idea of wanting to be right, or not caring if we are wrong, for instance, in that moment? Can we actually let go the idea, it's okay if I'm wrong, I don't care?
Yes. It's and that goes also into your solar again, because it's your confidence. It's being able to be wrong. And you know what's funny? So many times, and it happened to me physically, on a physical level as well, so many times, we end up creating the most beautiful things by making mistakes. On the dance floor, I'd be dancing with someone and maybe we would both decide to interpret something exactly in the same way at the same time. We'd both end up on the floor falling, but then we would use that movement to create something even greater, even bigger for a show on the stage, So understanding that it doesn't matter if you mistake. It's part of life, and
all this that you just described, do you think is a way to elevate frequency?
Yes, definitely.
And going back to the chakras, some traditions view dance as a network of energy thanks to the chakras. Just like the heart chakra is the bridge between the lower, more physical energy center and the upper, more metaphysical, I read that dance could be viewed as a bridge between the physical body and a more ancestral divine consciousness or connection, to align with and sometimes rewrite our own destiny. How do you feel about that?
It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I think when it comes to divinity, I do connect the crown chakra most to it, because and also certain expressions of dance, not all of them. Things like acrobatics, for example. I think that's where you get to tap into that level of divinity, where not everything really depends just on you anymore. And if you do get things right and you do work on all of the rest and you get to tap into here, then it's a different level of experience, it's a different level of connection, and a different outcome as well.
Because ancestry is a very important aspect of Inyeon. There is actually ancestral Inyeon, ancestral destiny. Because Kizomba, Semba are very ancestral, right? No?
They're not that old.
Okay.
They're not.
But they're
really
still
old
based
dance.
on ancestral.
But they're based on very ancestral, traditional dances.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you think that counts something for some people? Obviously, it would be an important element. Maybe not for everybody that approach dance as just dance.
Yes, I do believe that. Although it's not that common nowadays, because dance is more used, fortunately or unfortunately, is more used to let go of everything and not have to think of anything. But if you do choose to take this experience more on a serious note, like I like to say, then definitely it's something that you will even feel. You don't even have to think about it. You will feel by itself. It will come to you.
Many Kizomba teachers emphasize how music is the master in dance, and serving as the muse, the structure, or the emotional. I see it as the emotional driver for movement. You are a dancer with an incredible ability to interpret music, moving beyond just following the beat. And that makes you also an amazing musicality teacher. Now, without giving away any of your secrets, how do you teach your students to embody the nuances of sound?
Not easily. How we do it? We do it just like in life. We have to dumb everything down. We have to go through a process of analyzation, so analyzing everything that's happening, breaking it down to a very basic base, so that and that's where the paradox comes in. You end up doing all of that and you're spending so much time on that until even your brain has a very good understanding of it, to only get to the point where you realize that you have to let go of everything. But you can let go of everything, because one thing we cannot forget is that dance is about dance is about muscle memory. So because you've already gone through that process of understanding it to a basic point, then when you get to ascend, to put it like that, and let go of everything, then your body will remember, and now the rest of you is free to actually experience the magic of it.
And how do you realize that something shift in your students? Sorry, because I know that you have the ability to see it, but how does it happen?
My third eye.
What do you see? There is a moment that something shift that you see in your students.
If I have to put it in one word, most of the time it's expressed through confidence. The level of confidence shifts, and already everything with it shifts, including posture, the way they step, the way they handle themselves, the way they choose to style, the way they choose to listen to music. So everything kind of comes out of the usual line that, is restricted and scared.
See, I would like to explore something with you that came up during our last episodes, as we had a yoga philosophy teacher who was also a musician, and see what you think about it. So sound is a gateway to the soul in the yoga philosophy, and it is actually Nada yoga, the ancient yoga of sound, a path to self-realization and union with the universe, with the divine, through sound, treating sound vibration as a path for spiritual enlightenment and inner transformation. As an artist and as a musicality teacher, do you see sound in the same way? Because sound is purifying, is vibration, is rhythm that can affect our body right down to the cellular level.
Yes.
I know music is very important for you, so.
Yes, it is. Music is definitely one way of experiencing different emotions that you have. Music that's been used or portrayed is also it's going to affect what you're going to feel, how you're going to feel it, how you're going to even experience the whole moment, and how you're going to react to it. So yes, definitely is part of that journey. But then again, I do believe that our mind is very powerful, and what we choose to experience. Like me, I can experience one song in a certain way, and then somebody else can experience it in a different way, or even better, I can experience one song depending on what I'm going through today. I can experience it in one particular way, and in a couple of weeks, I can listen to the exact same song and experience different feelings, different energies that go through me. And that, again, it's all about at what point are we in the journey with that frequency.
Beautiful. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
that. A 2024 study published by the British Medical Journal found that dancing helped with depression symptoms more than walking, yoga, strength training, and also antidepressant. We know that both dance and music have many health benefits. Could you share any with us?
Of course. Well, when it comes to dance, we definitely know that it helps with cardiovascular endurance. It helps with balance and coordination. Music can lower blood pressure, right? It can literally alleviate stress. And even another important side of it is learning choreography, which helps with neuroplasticity, with memory and the other aspects that come into it. So altogether, these things, I think they act like a full mind and body medicine, if you will, because it taps into everything that your body needs in order to ascend.
Yeah, music, I would say that music saved my life more than yoga too. Yeah, music for me is life. I would like to share a different approach to a health benefit or healing that I think personally could be useful in a Kizomba room too.
Okay.
There is a word in Korean, just like Inyeon, which comes from Korean Buddhism. The word is Nunchi, which translates to I measure or I power. It is about being able to read a room thanks to nonverbal clues like tone or body language, understanding others' emotional state to maintain social harmony. So it is similar to high emotion intelligence. The reason why I think it could be useful is because the Inyeon, the purpose of Nunchi, is to avoid discomfort in social gathering and to make everybody feel comfortable in a situation. So maybe practicing Nunchi, we can become more aware and mindful of each other in a Kizomba room too. What do you think?
Definitely. I definitely believe that that can help. But from my perspective, I think that everything is meant to be the way that it is, and vice versa.
So you wouldn't eliminate, which I agree with you, you wouldn't eliminate the discomfort. Because
I wouldn't. Exactly, because it's part of the journey, it's part of the learning curve. And if you give up on that, then you're missing out on other things that your destiny has got for you.
Even though sometimes it's not what you just said before, it's not what we want. Sometimes we want to go out and dancing just for the sake of dancing and enjoy our night. And then some perspective and ego and
So much.
traumas comes up as you're going back home. It's like,
Literally.
So in 2023, you founded your own dance school, Affinity Dance Academy, where you teach regular weekly classes, workshops, and I know your 3rd anniversary school is coming up this summer. Could you
Which
share?
you cannot miss.
I promise. Could you share with us your vision?
For Affinity?
Yeah, for, why you wanted to create a school. What is it that you wanted to share?
The vision is still there. I'm still working on it. The vision was mostly, especially because Kizomba is a closed dance and rules and boundaries can be overstepped very quickly. When I created Affinity, it was created with more of an academic structure idea in mind, right? That's why it's Affinity Dance Academy, because it just felt to me, especially at that time, that people were taking it a little bit too easy, a little bit too nonchalant about the ripple effects that they create on the dance floor and in these experiences. So when I did create Affinity, I had this idea in mind of finding or letting the right people find us, which are those who do want to learn and experience things to a different level rather than just for the sake of having a night out.
Would you like to give a shout out for your anniversary?
Yes, the anniversary is on the 18th of July. It's happening in Adulis restaurant in Brixton. You cannot miss it because we have the best lineup ever. The best DJs are there. DJ Kayola, DJ Miro Kikola. If you're a Kizombero or a Kizomba follower, I don't even have to explain these names because you know how good they are. The party is going to be a 6-hour party. We're going to party until 4 a.m. in the morning. Silvia, you cannot miss it.
I will be there.
So yeah, just come and join us. We'll have also intensive workshop and a masterclass of Tarashinha because it's needed. We need to set those boundaries right.
Thank you. You have also written a book called Your Helpful Guide to Kizomba. Could you share with us a little bit about it and maybe tell our audience where they can find it?
They can find it on Amazon. Actually, they can purchase it there.
Is it an ebook or is it
it's an ebook? Yeah. When I created that book, it was more about, just like the title says, just helping those who don't really know what Kizomba is about, and that just like me, they just see a clip, and nowadays there is so many versions and so many more styles that are adding to Kizomba that don't really portray Kizomba as what it really is. So I created that book with the idea in mind of, getting those who are not familiar with it a little closer to what Kizomba actually is. Just like it happened to me, it would have been very helpful to have a book like that explains a little bit about what Kizomba is, where is it from, and what it's all about. So that was the whole idea of it.
Would you like to share your social media details?
Yes, you can find the Affinity Dance Academy, so you can find the links to the book there as well, and also my social media, which is Adda Dociu, either on Instagram, on Facebook, and TikTok.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it's a work in progress. Yeah.
Which is a shame because there is so much outreach for dance in there.
I know.
I know some people would say you're pushing, but that's how I am with Adda.
It's good. That's why I appreciate it.
Regarding social media, just recently I read that many dancers felt that something died in dancing because it became a currency to satisfy the Lord algorithm. But research shows that it takes 2-3 minutes watching a piece to start appreciating it. But we know that on social media, on internet, we must engage in 3-5 seconds. And that's what a successful content looks like. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, not great. Not great, obviously. I think that right now humans in general have a very, very short attention span, yes. Meaning you have to give them just the best of the best. And that also means them not experiencing the actual holiness of that dance, right? Because you're just looking at what's really interesting, and you find out when you do engage in this community, you do find out that it's about a lot more than just that beautiful move that you saw, or that level of connection that you saw between two dancers. It's a big aspect of it, but it's not all there is to it.
I completely agree with you, and I think it's been the same in yoga for many, many years now. And even me now starting this new adventure, everybody was like, oh, you need to engage, you need to do something in the first 3-5 seconds. And I really don't care. I decided that I didn't want to care, because that would remove the enjoyment I started with. Whoever is supposed to reach and wanted to watch the full reel they are post, or the full episode they are post, is fine. If they don't want to and they just want to swipe, it's fine. But I don't want to change it for the sake of doing it. It's okay if it's not going to reach millions of people. Whoever's going to be interested to do it is fine. Because I think it can affect our daily life, because those manufactured dopamine hit leave no space for similar real life events, and we get bored very quickly. We get frustrated, and we look for similarity in how we feel online with how we feel in real life. But real life is slower; it doesn't hook us, and that's where beauty is found. But I think if we are in autopilot, we run the risk to swipe those experiences away, and for some people it's fine, they don't care. But for some others, whoever is willing to go and watch a 59 seconds video rather than 3-5 seconds video is fine.
Exactly.
If they don't want to, it's fine.
I think what you said there is very powerful, because it's authenticity, and it is the strongest frequency that
and then otherwise we change ourselves again for the law, the algorithm. It's like
exactly.
So now we are going to dive into the Little Without Margin segment. This segment was created by me to spread a little bit of magic, a little bit of imagination. And it is about asking very abstract questions. So what I'm going to ask you is very abstract. And it's about hypothetical experiences we would have with a body that didn't have a physical form. It was pure energy, pure atoms floating around, which is the case, is the reality of, who we are, but without being restricted by our 5 senses. So think about just energy floating around. And we're going back to Nada Yoga, which is based on the concept that the cosmos is made of energy that uses the external sound, like music, chanting, singing our own voice, to reach the internal abstract sound of the universe, aiming for a state of deep meditation or samadhi. The internal sound is silent, and the aim is to move inward from the loud external sound to the quiet internal sound, leading to a mental state of peace and balance, and ultimately union with the universe, with the divine. The first external sound we have is that of our own voice, that connects us with our 5th chakra, our Vishuddha chakra. It is our sound that is associated with space, the ether, or the void. The yoga philosophy says that our 5th chakra is the space where nothing exists, only the pure sound of vibration. And it is also the emptiness, the void in between cells, in between all spaces, carrying the wisdom of the universe. So it's the space where creation begins. Now, I believe, this is just based on my creative belief, that in dance we also have a space where nothing exists, only the pure sound of vibration. And I believe that is the space of in-between steps, which you teach in your classes. Now, imagine you didn't have a physical form, and you were instead the energy of the in-between steps. What kind of dancing energy made of sound would you create? Usually I get these reactions. So
what kind of dance
energy. So if you had the energy, if your reality was to be the energy of the in-between steps, imagine in your class, you in-between steps that you teach. I know you teach, you told me of many times. and you are that energy, only that energy. That's your Inyeon, that's your purpose. What kind of dancing energy made of music would you create in that exact moment?
I don't know if I understand the question. Like, what kind of dance energy?
Yeah.
As in,
would you be like you teach it on time?
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Well, to me, that's the equivalent of in between beats. So obviously, I would most probably be that. No, even more. Sorry, because I'm thinking as Why would probably be the connection between the silence and the next silence in between.
How would you like to share with our audience how you teach the in-between steps energy? What is it? Because maybe some people don't actually understand that.
How do I teach it? Well, the in-between beats is your, in Kizomba, when we're talking about the Kizomba umbrella, is the weight transfer, and it's where the weight transfer, it's from where the weight transfer starts until it ends so that it can start again.
You would be the weight transfer.
You know, the moving from one into the other, which is exactly that weight transfer of the control of the weight transfer, because there are different levels of weight transfer and different ways of transferring the weight depending on what you're trying to achieve with the movement. So yeah, I think you got my answer right.
Yes,
Thank you for that.
Nice a bit.
Yeah.
That's how I like to express myself these days. Just actually, when you were talking, something came into my mind. I just thought of an epic saga called Sandalia. It is a Sardinian epic saga written by Stefano Pirodi, I think, if I'm not wrong. And it's set in Sardinia in the 3rd century BC, because in Sardinian traditions, the universe is a dancing woman made of music.
Oh,
isn't it beautiful?
That is beautiful. I will have to ask you for the actual details of that, because it sounds very interesting.
It's really, really nice. Oh, thank you for reminding me that. Would you like to ask me a without margins question? You don't have to, but just for the fun of it, if you like.
Let me have a little think. If there was something you could add to the energy of Kizomba, what would it be?
Kizomba, people kill me.
Freely, no judgment.
If I could add, I think it would be learning in classes to connect more spiritually, which is, truly is not done enough, I think, because only few teachers. And I think there is the spirituality of sound, of music, which is explored a lot. But I think in terms of like what we discussed today, the chest connection, for instance, or the root chakra, or even beyond, going underneath the feet, is not there. Because I'm a very spiritual person, I see everything like you just said. That's why, for instance, this podcast is about in moments of Inyeon, in moments of destiny, and I like to explore these, recollecting memories from each other. So like I said before, this podcast is not just about me sharing the knowledge that I gain, or the universe allow me to gain, is to share my guest knowledge, which are part of my Inyeon, of my destiny. You guys, everybody's been here is rooted into and is looped into my Inyeon.
And vice versa.
And I think, for instance, between people like you and me, the red threads that goes between the little fingers, between us, is made of sound. I believe that mine and yours is made of little notes of music, that connects us. That's how we found each other again.
It's a really beautiful view to have.
Thank you. before we move on we are going to take a short break for my book announcement. I wrote a children's book called The Puzzling World of Adda. It is the story of 9-year-old Adda, and it is a story full of thrilling and magical adventures with a plot that will take children and even some adults on a journey filled with imagination, creativity, friendship, respect, and family legacy. When Adda comes into possession of a mysterious jewelry box, she has no idea that her life is about to change forever. Hidden inside the jewelry box are objects, clues to solving mysteries and lessons in life. Each clue leads to a book and to a colorful adventure, and each book contains the answer to a mystery. The author is Yokoti, aka yours truly. It is a name that was given to me by a friend when I worked as a special effect makeup artist in films and TV. If you like to support me, you can find it as ebook on Gumroad and Amazon. You can find the link in our YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook page. All right, you guys, welcome back. Adda, final question. Do you have any final thoughts on the connection between dance, music, and Inyeon, destiny purpose?
I think the only thing that I would want to share or to encourage more is to really enjoy every moment of it, whether it seems intimidating, too hard to go through, or too easy or too much fun. I think we should enjoy it to the same level as analyzing it, understanding, and be willing to learn from it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we always say, there are many, many different perspectives about the subjects we discuss in our episodes. So ultimately, the question of whether dance and music are part or not of a predetermined destiny is a matter of perspective. For some people, dance is a calling, a part of a predetermined destiny, allowing people to express their inner feelings. And others view it as an escape, a way to release tension and to let everything loose, suggesting it is a chosen act of joy rather than a determined fate. And music is viewed as an element of the universe rather than strict predetermined script. And it is understood as a framework or melody where we are destined to participate in, but how we act upon it, for some people, is a matter of free will, and some others is part of a predetermined destiny. This is to say that my perspective might be different from yours might be the same as Adda, or vice versa, or different from all of us, but this is what makes us interesting human being and life beautiful. So as always, there is no single answer and there is not right or wrong, but only many, many different perspectives. All right, you guys, we reached the end of our episode. So thank you, Queen of Kizomba, for being our guest, for sharing all your knowledge with us. It was a lot of fun and very insightful.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
My experiences with you and my encounters with you are always very exciting and very mindful and very knowledgeable. So thank you for that.
Thank you. We started on the dance floor and now we're progressing.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. And thank you guys for your constant support. If you like to subscribe, follow, like, share, leave us a comment. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. See you next time with our next guest. Until then, keep following your red threads and keep living mindfully in moments of Inyeon. Bye guys. Bye Adda.
Bye.
Pra sempre tá a volta pra boa. Se noite fica escura, que tem mero está ali. Minda é pequenote, mas nosso amor é grande sim. Aquele que nós tem que é passatempo. É sentido de rua e amor de dentro. Fica só nós dois. Deixa o mundo rodar. Nós cada solta a mão. Nosso amor cada acaba não. Fica ali só nós dois. Na boa junta via